Today we're making malumi. What is malumi, you may ask? Well, it's the plant-based cousin to halloumi, made with mung beans, therefore malumi. Now this is actually a recipe that's going to be in my upcoming new cookbook, the Vegan Creamery, that'll be out in 2025. And I thought I'd just give you a sneak peek. Now, I gotta make a full confession here because halloumi, I've been a vegan for so long, I've been a vegan for 40 years. Halloumi is a cheese that I have never had, but recently it's become so popular. So I read up on it. I read that it was tangy, that it didn't melt, that you could throw it on a grill, put it in a shawarma, grill it and toss it on a salad, etc. And it just sounded so intriguing, I got to playing around. I found that most plant-based recipes out there were basically just made out of tofu, so I thought, can I make it better? Can I make a cheese that holds together, that grills, that doesn't melt, but is still creamy and delicious inside while still having that tangy flavor? And so I think I got it. It's golden hued, it's not white. So I call it malumi. It's not halloumi, it's the mung bean malumi. So we're gonna get started. It's a really easy cheese to make. Wow, we're gonna have some fun today. All right, getting started. I told you we're making this out of mung beans. So these are split mung beans. I've got a half a cup of split yellow mung beans, and they are going to go into my blender with a cup and a half of water. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. That'll give it slightly cheesy flavor. And then I've got a 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of avocado oil. You can use coconut oil if you like, or any other liquid oil. Hard or liquid. If you use coconut oil, make sure it's deodorized or refined coconut oil. You do not want that coconut flavor. All right. And then I'm going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. That's an exact 1.5 teaspoons. I just want to assure you of that. And now we are going to blend this. All right, that is about done. Now, what we have to do is ferment this for anywhere between 16 and 24 hours, meaning that we're going to add a probiotic. Actually, not a probiotic. We're going to add some bacterial cultures, lactic acid bacterial cultures that will bring down the pH, meaning will make it more acidic. And that's what's going to give this malumi its characteristic tangy flavor. Now, you could culture it different ways. You could just add a couple of tablespoons of a commercial vegan yogurt. That would be one way to do it. But I'm going to add a really special one. So in recent years, cheese culture companies have been making vegan cheese cultures made out of several different bacteria that will give cheese, vegan cheese, more flavor. And so this is one of them. I was able to get this from thecheesemaker.com. So you can go there and buy your own. This is the thermophilic culture. There's both a mesophilic and a thermophilic, which means, well, philos means love. So thermo means heat. So it's lover of heat. Bacterial cultures that are thermophilic like warmer temperatures, and mesophilic like lower temperature. So this is a thermophilic one that we're going to use, and we're going to sprinkle a little bit in here. About 1/8 teaspoon is about all we need. Yep, I think that's good. And we're just going to reblend it for just another second. Okay, now we're going to pour this into a jar. I have a mason jar right here. Make sure it's nice and clean. You don't want other things growing in it. And then we're going to put this in a warm place at about 95 to 100 degrees for 16 to 24 hours until it reaches a really low pH, meaning somewhere below 4.6, ideally for that tang, maybe around 4.3, 4.4. Now, if you do not have a meter to measure the pH, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is a pH meter. If you don't have one, and most people don't just have one lying around the kitchen, you can just taste it and see if it's tangy enough for you. If it's not tangy enough, just let it culture even longer. So now we're going to put a lid on this, and we are going to put it in an incubator. Now, if you have a warm place in the summertime, all you have to do is wrap a towel around this because it's already fairly warm because of the friction from the blender. And you can just put a heavy towel or a vegan down jacket around it or a blanket or something and put it away in a warm place where it'll retain that temperature for 16 to 24 hours. You can put it in an oven that's been turned on and turned off. You could put it in a yogurt maker. You could put it in an Instapot at the yogurt setting, which is usually around 110, but with a thermophilic culture, that'll also work. You can put it in a proofing box. That's another place to keep it warm. So there's a variety of places that will keep this warm, somewhere between 90 and we can go up to as high as 110 degrees for about 16 to 24 hours. All right, so this has been fermenting now. I'm gonna just check the pH and it's around, it's about 4.6. All right, so I think it's ready. You can make it lower, but we're gonna get started. I'm gonna take the milk and what I'm gonna do now is strain out the pulp. That just takes a minute because I don't want a gritty malumi. Okay, so I'm straining that. There's a little bit of sludge here at the bottom. See the sludge there? I'm gonna pour this into my pot. And get as much milk out of this as possible. And what you do with this is you can toss it, you can compost it, you can save it to make crackers. Watch my other episode of the almond cow to learn how to make the best pulp crackers ever. All right, so I've got 2 tablespoons of potato starch that's going in here and 2 tablespoons of tapioca starch. And now we're gonna put this on the stove and cook it until it is really, really thick. I shouldn't have walked away, but I did. All right, it's fine. It's all gonna come together. Alrighty, so when you get this lovely thickened mass that's gooey and stretchy and a little bit shiny with a little bit of sheen to it, that's when you know it's ready. And now it is ready to go into our dish and just chill and harden. All right, put it into my dish here. And it's a little darker, but as it cools, it will lighten up in color. All right, and this is going to go in the refrigerator for several hours or overnight until it gets all firm and sliceable. I think I'll get some cilantro. I've got young garlic. I could do that. I could put a little garlic in there too. Wouldn't that be good? All right, I'm going to do a little garlic. There we go. Okay. I know Tracy, the garden lady, is gonna kill me for this, but I just want a little bit of this at the bottom, okay? That's all I want. So I've stolen a couple of things from the veggie garden, and now I've got a dirty hand. Okay. Oh, you lovely little boy. No, not dandelion either. I'm striking out today. Nobody likes my weeds. It's hard to control. You know, it's like us. Like we're all in a mood for different foods at different times. Okay, my malumi has nice and chilled. It's nice and firm now, and I can slice it and grill it. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to grill these. I'm going to cut these maybe, I don't know, 1/3 of an inch, 1/2 inch thick. And as you can see, they're firm. They have some elasticity. and they don't melt. So I've got a cast iron indoor grill right here on my burner. I also have just another pan here, so I can cook them two different ways. So they have grill marks and they don't have grill marks. Oh yes, oh yes. My malumi is about done. Okay, that one fell apart, but as you can see, they're staying together. They're not melting on the inside. They're holding their shape. Okay, so now we're gonna put these on a plate. You can put them on toast, have it with avocado toast. It's so good with avocado. But I'm just gonna make a little bit of a condiment to put on top with some cucumber and tomatoes and the onions that I just picked from the garden. Some spring onions, and we'll top it with that and just have a little appetizer. So we're just gonna make a little topping to put on top of the halloumi so we can enjoy them in all their glory. And so we've got the spring onions and the red Italian garlic that I picked from the garden. I stole from the garden. Tracy, our garden director, is probably gonna go, what happened to my onions? So, but anyway, they're here. I think I'm gonna slice it like this on the bias. I'll use the tops later for soup or something. I'm gonna do a combination. That is the garlic for sure. I can smell it. Okay, I've got some cilantro that I also picked from the garden. So we'll just chop that up nicely. And I did something I never do, which is to buy a tomato in February. But I did that because I just wanted the pop of color, and I thought they would go so nicely with the malumi. So I'm going to dice these up very, very fine. And a little cucumber. So just chop that up. I'm going to get all of that into my bowl. A little olive oil, a little sea salt. All right, so let's top the malumi. Okay, my malumi is all dressed up and ready to be devoured. So I've got the grilled one here, I've got the pan fried one here. I'm gonna take a bite of the grilled one. So good. Wow. That's a delicious appetizer right by, just like that, but I could also imagine it on a crostini with some avocados, on top of a salad, add a little bit of protein and richness and creaminess. Wow, this is a hit. So, hey guys, give it a try. This will be in my upcoming new cookbook, The Vegan Creamery. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And if you make this and post this on your Instagram, please tag me and share me your pictures of your malumi. So, until next time.